Hi, and welcome to our Bit by Bit seminar sponsored by Block Cheese. Today, our topic is useful grant writing tips. So, one of the first things you want to do when preparing to write your grant, you want to pay attention to the funder's key interests. It's important to make sure that your organization's mission and purpose aligns with that of the funders. So we kind of discussed about that mission and purpose alignment earlier. So if there are keywords in the call for proposals or in the funding organization's mission or goal, so again, you want to be specific that you identify what are those goals and what is the mission of that organization. Be sure to use those terms throughout your proposal. But you don't want to be too heavy-handed. So you want to make sure that you do address some of those useful words and terms that's showing you are aligned with that organization's mission, the funding organization's mission. You want to help your readers understand the connections that exist between your project and their purpose without belaboring these connections. Another useful grant writing tip is organizing your ideas through numbered lists. So as a grant writer, it is good to use numbered lists or bulleted lists to organize your ideas within the proposal you are developing. So as you can see, they say using numbers in this may not be an eloquent way, but to me, having that structure and making sure that your ideas are organized in a proposal is again a quick way for the funder to look at it and to get the clear and skimmable information. Go after grants of all sizes. So that would actually depend on your funding strategy. But you do want to pay attention to small grant opportunities as well as the larger grant opportunities. So one strategy, again, securing smaller grants can make your appeal for larger grants more attractive. But also you want to look at, again, your funding strategy and make sure that there are no funding gaps in your operation. And of course, showing that one or two stakeholders have already supported your project can bolster your credibility. Don't give up, keep writing. So again, writing a grant proposal requires you to closely analyze your vision and consider carefully and critically how your solution will effectively respond to a gap, problem, or deficiency. So you're looking to address a gap, problem, or deficiency. Oftentimes, you will hear of a community need. So even with seasoned grant writers, the process of the grant development writing process often ends with rejection. But again, once you start developing your writing skills, improving your workflow, your success rate will definitely improve. Avoiding pet peeves. So pet peeves are generally those things that provide a barrier to why the workflow is not consistent. Could be lack of structure that pet peeves affect structure. So don't wait until the last minute to submit your proposal. Computer glitches are not an acceptable excuse for a late application. Provide what is requested without reminders. Always promptly return calls and emails and requests for information from the funder. Again, that's very important, making sure that making the connection to the funder and just being prompt with your communication. Always visit the funder's website first. Don't call for information that can be found online. And also use what you've learned online to show how well you've prepared for that request. Make sure the name of the grant maker to which you're applying for is correct throughout your application. So that's very important, especially if you're cutting and pasting your application together. You want to make sure that from the previous grant funder, you have changed the name throughout the application. Don't act as if you're entitled to funding. There are many worthwhile needs that deserve support. So again, one of the useful grant writing tips is to humble yourself. Don't claim to be the only organization doing X, Y, and Z without backing up that claim with data or proof. And don't overpromise results. Make sure your budget numbers add up and submit all the information that's requested. All too often, organizations leave out certain documents, don't address certain questions in the narrative. And so make sure you have all the information that's requested. If something isn't available, note the requirement and why it isn't met. So you want to always stay ahead of the curveball in the situation when dealing with funders and stay on top. Always say thank you after receiving a grant, and also say thank you if you don't receive funding, just to extend dialogue to learn and find out why either you didn't get the grant award and how can you improve your chances for getting awarded in the next funding cycle. And immediately following the receipt of a grant, take time to collaborate with your funder in your shared work. Thank you.